All right, y'all, we are back with another video, and here we go again. We got Trump's lawyer, Alina Habba. She went on Patrick Bet-David's show. I mean, she absolutely went off on Latitia James and Judge Engoron. I mean, just straight went off on them. Now, I know y'all been seeing like the news articles. They've been saying that Donald Trump has all the rights right now to sue Latitia James. I mean, has all the rights to sue this woman. She been going after him, I think they said, since 2018. Like, this woman campaigned on trying to take down Donald Trump even before she was in office. This is ridiculous. I just hated that this woman just then got away with this crap for so long. It has to come to an end. Playtime is over. We are all sick of this crap. They up here trying to treat Donald Trump unfairly, but I'm glad the appellate court did the right thing, slicing that bond in half. It shouldn't even be no bond. It should be zero, because $175 million, that's still a lot of money. But it is better than him having to come up with $500 million. So I guess we just have to take what we can take. But at the same time, $175 million, that's still a lot of money as well. So we definitely about to go ahead and dive straight into this. It said that, let's go straight into it. Because it said that Donald Trump's lawyer exposes the hypocrisy of Latitia James. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into it. Please hit that like button for me so more people can see this. Because they said Alina Habba said some very, very important things in this video that everybody needs to hear. So make sure you watch to the end, because I don't want any of y'all missing out on any of this. You need to hear, you need to watch the whole video. Please hit that like button, subscribe to the channel. That way you can stay up to date with everything that's going on, all right? So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive straight into it. And let's see exactly what was said, y'all. Let's go.
What is the latest with President Trump's case? Obviously, everybody for the longest time was saying Monday, it's going to happen Monday. 454, he's going to have to pay if he doesn't seize his assets. You know, The View, I can't wait. I want to see that, you know, seizing his assets and the property. I want to see all of that stuff. What is the latest? What's been happening?
So we're winning, and I've always tell people, you know, this is the long game, okay? We are in a corrupt system. There's no question about it. So people love to say, look, we're going to go over there, and Tish James is going to take the keys to Trump Tower. I think Whoopi Goldberg and all of them got excited about putting a chain around Trump Tower, and literally were
crazy
taunting. It was a really pathetic sight, actually. And it didn't happen. Why? Because the appellate division read our papers, saw that there are reasons for a stay, saw that it absolutely is ridiculous to have somebody lose an asset while the appellate division hasn't had an opportunity to look at the injustices, look at the decision-making that was so flawed. And frankly, the motivation on this case was flawed. She was motivated to bring this case before she was even in office. That's what she ran on, Miss James. So that in itself, selective prosecution, happens to be illegal. It shouldn't happen. Look, they stated, they dropped it. They said, we're not taking assets. Everything is frozen. Not only, and this is the one thing that nobody talks about, they didn't just say you're not paying that amount of money, which, by the way, is almost close to $1 billion with a bond, because you have to pay 10% more, plus you have to pay interest. The judges said, no, we're stopping everything. You're not enforcing this. You're going to put $175 million, which is still crazy, in a bank. But we're also not enforcing any decision against the defendants not to be able to work in New York in real estate. We're also not enforcing the decisions against Alan Weisselberg, Jeff McConnell, people that did nothing wrong, that were working for a company and did their job and truly did nothing wrong. Nobody did. And every single part of that decision from Judge Engoron, that twisted decision.
Weird looking guy.
Every single thing was put on hold. Everything. While we have the opportunity now to say, this is what I was screaming about outside the courtroom steps every day. You know? So we're on hold, and I mean, we're on hold for an expensive price, but at least we're seeing a little bit of, you know, due process and sense.
And how did he come up with the $175 million?
I don't know. I have no idea. You know, it wasn't in there. There wasn't any qualification.
Alina, are they starting to figure out that this tactic that they're using is not, it's like, it's done. It's not going to work.
We could call the DNC and ask them. I'm not sure. You know, I don't understand how they couldn't see that their overreaching has really hurt them, because Donald Trump has always been famous. He has always been a very smart businessman, which is why I think he's a very good president. He attacks things from a business perspective, which I think some presidents and some politicians, frankly, do lack that experience, right?
Okay.
And because of that, they've attacked him so badly that now you've taken a billionaire and made him sympathetic because you're trying to hurt him. It's so obvious that now we've got people from the left, the middles, they're coming to our side and saying, whoa, this is just too much.
Yeah.
You know, they're going to do this to me.
Exactly.
What am I going to do? I don't have Haba outside screaming, you know, what are you going to do? And that's been my message always is, you know, they're doing it to him, but they'll do it to us. They'll do it to me, I'm sure. They'll do it to everybody. And that's what scares me. So that's really, the motivation's really not just President Trump, it's America.
So let me ask you this. So this 175 we're talking about, okay, it has to be in an account. Fine. He puts that cash. No problem. If we size up the enemy of President Trump as being deceptive, dark, divisive, willing to do anything to eliminate him as a candidate going into 2024, November 5th. Anything they can do, right? To spin the story and say, look at him now, he's part of the establishment, he's going to New York begging people for money, Wall Street, all this stuff. If that was the case, he's still got a few more cases open. Is it possible that they may come up and say, yeah, for this one you have to pay $280 million. This one's going to be $73 million. Another $128 million. Another $190. Can they keep doing this between now and October to just really deplete all of his savings?
So, look, the reality is he's an incredibly wealthy man. His wealth, like all wealthy individuals that have intelligence, is being put to work. It's in buildings, it's in real estate, it's in hotels, it's in golf. They're not, you know, whatever they're going to try and do, they forget who they're dealing with, number one.
Yep.
But realistically, Patrick, what we do have in front of us is really not the civil suits. The civil suits were already done. And what you're asking, I believe, already happened. We had the Carroll lawsuit. He got hit with an insane, and that was a suit that I obviously did. We had already lost prior, and we have not been heard on appeal on that first loss.
This is the $83.3 million.
$83.3 million.
Right.
That was the first one,
right?
Which actually turns out to be $91 million when you look at it with the bond. Okay, with the 10%, you have to put 10% on top. People think you put 10% into the court.
Decrease.
You put the entire amount plus 10% into the appellate division. So it's a number that the court gives plus 10%, plus the interest on the bond, plus whatever they get in fees. It's plus, plus, plus. So we already got that hit. I did that trial 2 weeks after Latitia James' trial ended. I was on that trial for 4 months. The Judge Engoron waited to put his decision until after the jury came out with Carroll. So
that right there was all a freaking setup. That's the reason why I don't even call that judge Judge Engoron. I call him Judge Moron, because that's exactly what he is. Latitia James and Judge Moron. So he waited until the $83.3 million was supposed to be going to E.G. and Karen. Then he decided, okay, you know what? I'm going to do 400 and something. I'm going to make the man pay $500 million. Like, they literally trying to take down Donald Trump. Like, it is just ridiculous. That's the reason why I constantly get on here and I just debunk the dumb stuff that Latitia James them is trying to do. This woman campaigned on it from the get-go. I know the appellate court. I know all the courts see this crap. That's the reason why you seen people like Kevin O'Leary speaking out. You seen a lot of you even seen a lot of people that don't like Donald Trump was still speaking up for Donald Trump, because they were like, even if I don't like this man, this crap can be done to me. It can be done to me. So I don't, even if you don't like somebody, you don't want people going through something like that. If a person didn't do anything wrong, they shouldn't have to pay $500 million. And the $500 million was just to appeal. That's the main thing, was to appeal. That's how crooked this judge is. That's why Donald Trump said that this judge has been overturned now 5 times. Since the appellate court did this for Donald Trump, now it's 5 times that this crooked judge has been overturned. I don't know why he ain't been sanctioned yet. He need to go. He need to be out of New York. Him and Latitia James need to be fired on the same day. They both needs to be fired at the same time. I would love to see it. Don't fire one this day and that day. No, fire them both at the same time because they both need to get sanctioned. They both need to be done and just be in trouble. It just don't make no sense. But I'm going to keep calling this crap out.
Had that happen. We had that happen. It was $91 million. And then Tish James, her original complaint, if you look, was $250 million.
Yep.
In the middle of the trial, towards the end, she changes it and says, now I want more. Not because the facts were bad. Frankly, the facts were good. Deutsche Bank took the stand, said he was a whale of the client. We actually wanted him because we wanted his connections. Zurich still insures us. All these things. The judge didn't care. Tish asked for more. He gave exactly what she wanted. There was no consideration for witnesses or facts or law. It's all crazy and corrupt.
How did they come up with these
So it was 91, then 375. They're out of thin air. Their own expert said, even if we looked at what this judge is saying is an overvalue. Okay. He's also saying Mar-a-Lago's $18 million.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Okay? So sure, if you think Mar-a-Lago's worth $18 million, well, there's about over $1 billion of over. It's ridiculous. There is no way. If Mar-a-Lago's $18 million, we should all buy it tomorrow and flip it. And we'll all be worth hundreds of millions of dollars. I mean, it's crazy. But if you look at it that way, that was already planned, Patrick. That's what they did. They did 91. Then they did 375. 375 becomes more like 600 million. So they were trying to take it. By the way, remember, Tish asked for his statements, asked for financials. She changed the number based on what cash he had. There's 0% question in my mind. That's what happened.
So Lena, if you ask like the average person that doesn't know about law, doesn't know about all this, and they're looking at this from the outside looking in, even left or right, and they're saying to themselves, how the hell are they getting away with this and nobody's saying anything?
I've been saying the same thing. I don't know. The system is just screwed. The system is corrupt. And like this crooked Judge Moran, didn't get Latitia James no backlash, like nothing. If she wanted it, he gave it to her. From 250 or 275 to 3, she just kept changing it. And he let her do it. They let you know he was in on it. I've been calling it out for the longest. I've been calling this crap out and saying that they've been working together. It's like you found the man guilty before the case even started. You already had found him guilty. He don't owe anybody. He don't owe no banks. Ain't nobody coming out saying Donald Trump owed me money and you were trying to make this man pay $500 million just to appeal your stupid decision that you tried to make.
In the legal world, in government, in Congress, somebody should be like, all right, guys, time out. Besides, I don't care what the hell, who the person is. What are you guys doing? This is blatantly obvious that it's a tactic to try to keep them off the ballot. It's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, but I think that we have a problem with accountability with the Democrat side, and I'm not sure we figured out how to tackle them. We have to. I think President Trump would make everything even Steven when he gets back into office. I think that what we have to deal with is exactly that. We keep talking about it. I could go on TV every day and talk about how we have White House logs that came out while I was on trial. I'm sitting in the back room and I find out that there were White House logs that Tish James visited the White House.
Yeah.
Before and after the complaint was filed.
Woo.
What? How was that
She
not?
visited the White House before and after. I've been saying this for the longest, that Joe Biden is behind all of this crap because everybody that's going after Donald Trump, Jack Smith, Fannie Willis, Latitia James, at first it was Nathan Wade before he had to step down. All of the people that's going after Donald Trump has visited the White House talking to Joe Biden about this crap. They are all in it trying to save Joe Biden. And I'm still pissed off about the classified documents that they dropped Joe Biden's classified documents case, talking about because how he is, he don't remember anything, he always falling. So y'all telling me that you can drop that man case because he can't remember things and he always falling, but he's still allowed to be president though. Explain that to me. How is Joe Biden still allowed to be president if he got a problem remembering things, always falling, and all of this crap? So why did they drop his case? So if you're going to drop his case, he shouldn't even be president. They should have made him step down. But they didn't do that. You didn't want to drop Donald Trump's classified documents case, but you dropped Joe Biden's. This is the crap they trying to do. They trying to help Joe Biden. This is what they trying to do, but it's not going to work.
Not on the news. If I didn't have such a loud mouth, people wouldn't hear the truth. So I'm looking at it and I'm going, what? How is this possible? And it didn't get covered. It didn't get covered. I mean,
Who is that public info? If I right now wanted to find that she's visited the White House, that's public. I could see it.
Yeah. It's crazy. So I'm looking at it and I'm saying, how do we hold them accountable? Well, these are elected officials. You know, we had people there. We have gag orders being put on us. How is that okay?
Yeah.
Gag orders on lawyers.
Yeah.
Imagine I go to court, I'm your lawyer. And the judge says, but no, you can't talk about a couple things here.
What?
How about the Carroll case? The judge asked me the questions I was going to ask my client in public in front of the media before he took the stand, and then asked me what his answers would be. I was like, excuse me? Nobody talks about it. Transcript. Ask for the transcript. It's there. It's crazy.
Yeah, this is judicial activism at its worst. Judicial activism is where the judge is sort of acting as a lobbyist on behalf of a political side. And in civil cases, it can run amok as long as you get a dirty judge. At least at the federal level, you know, you have federal sentencing guidelines, right? Which was that a sentence will be this much, might be this much, and can be extended to this much on the circumstances
Yeah, it's statutory.
Basically the AGs for states or whatever that are participating and remand things like to the Southern District of New York for business, and it looks terrible, and they say, okay, well then your guidelines here, but you're going to get this. But for civil, Vinny, civil, it can run amok. All you need is a bad, dirty judge. He puts a gag order here, he impugns a witness here, he prevents us here, he suppresses us here, and you're literally a puppet, and you feel like you're in the middle of Congress during a debate for a bill rather than in the halls of justice with rules and regulations. We are supposed to have, you know, the executive, the judicial, and then legislative. Legislative is where we run amok until we figure it out. Judicial, we're supposed to have procedures and laws and standards and things that go in there. This didn't happen. They basically decided that the civil case, they were going to run it like a political campaign. And for everybody listening, that's what you should think about here. That the Trump cases were run like a political campaign by a filthy, corrupt judicial.
Yeah, they are politically motivated. And there were things that were done that I know were meant to make me look stupid. And, you know, judges admonishing me, telling me to sit down in front of a jury, the way they spoke. There was nothing I was doing procedurally or in evidence rules that was wrong. Now, the press covered it that way because the judge made them think and would say things like, you should read the evidence rules. And I'm looking and I'm saying, well, I'm trying to be an ethical lawyer here and respectful. But I can't. You can't really talk back to a judge, right? Especially when a judge is telling you they're going to throw you in jail, which happened on the Carroll case. Imagine in a civil case, because I objected to a PowerPoint slide that I wanted in, and he said is not coming in. The PowerPoint slide literally proved everything I had said in the case. It said that, look, if somebody tweets something and President Trump doesn't acknowledge it for 5 hours, but they're getting hate from trolls, how can you blame President Trump for defamation? That slide was taken out. I was not allowed to bring it in, and the jury couldn't see it. But the judge, the way they do it, he did it in front of the press. He didn't do it in chambers. He does it so that people start to have this narrative. Oh, she's not a good lawyer. Oh, she's not bright. Oh, she's not this and that. Is that me?
The judge said he's going to throw you in jail?
Yeah.
The weird guy. But, so question, did you guys file any motions against Latitia James for all the videos and all the rhetoric of, I'm going to go after Trump? How is that not a conflict of interest to get her taken off the case?
So her being on the case is different than Fani Willis.
Okay.
So Tish James actually doesn't do the cases.
Okay.
She's a figurehead effectively, right? So she's got a team that we dealt with for 3 years, and that team tried the case. She would show up, she would sit in the back, she would have her coffee. She wasn't really trying the case. Now, she was giving the directives. She was given the directives, much like Merrick Garland or any of them, right? Yeah. But did we argue selective prosecution? 100 times. Did we argue that she prosecuted President Trump to get into office, said it before, that it was improper, that she was unethical, all those things? 100 times. Was it covered?
No. Just like her going to the White House to visit.
All right. Well, there we go right there, man. Alina Habba spilling the beans. I mean, didn't hold back. And obviously you can see the corruption I mean, the way that they just letting Latitia James constantly do this stuff, letting Judge Moran constantly do this stuff. The man been overturned 5 times. Why is he still allowed to be the judge? How come him and Latitia James ain't been sanctioned yet? Why? So they gonna have to make some changes because crap like this has to stop, because it ain't gonna be no businesses in New York if they don't get rid of Latitia James and Judge Moran. They have to go. We're all sick of it. Like I said, y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think about this. Thank you for watching, especially the one that stayed to the end. Make sure you hit that like button, subscribe for more, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.